Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Today we're gonna do a challenge from x3CTF, and I've chosen to do this challenge because of its uniqueness, and it is showing us a very interesting exploit with Linux, like the work of Linux star symbol. So I'm gonna talk about it a little bit, and we're gonna do this challenge together. If you want to do this challenge on your own on your computer, you can go ahead and go to the video's description. I'm gonna link my GitHub there, and I'm gonna upload the challenge there with a Docker container that you can run and with the whole challenge. So let me just start the challenge now by doing, if you download the files from the description and you want to follow along, you can just run sudo docker -compose up, and then the Docker will automatically launch itself. If Docker Compose is not working like this, you can try running sudo. Let me just show you sudo docker compose up without the dash here, and then we get access to the challenge on port 3000. So if we go to our web browser and go to localhost 3000, we get this nvm-ctf page where we can submit a challenge, and we can upload a file. So nothing interesting here. I mean, there's an interesting functionality that we can upload file, but let's take a look at source code because it is provided for us on the challenge. So it's in source directory here, and we can see that there is favicon.ico, index.php, and uploads folder. Let's take a look at what's in the uploads folder, and there's just flag.txt, and then we can see that there is index.php. So let's take a look at the source code. So on the top here, we can see that there is nothing interesting. There's just some CSS for the styling. Then we have some static HTML, and then we have some PHP. Let's go through this code together, and I'm gonna explain everything that it does. So first of all, we have it checks if a file is set, and we are setting a file by uploading it here. After checking the file, if it is set, it sets upload to OK, and chooses the target directory to var www.html uploads. And let's actually go ahead and navigate to the Docker container to get access to the shell. So sudo docker ps to list all the running Docker sessions. We can see that there is this container ID here, and this is the Docker container that is running. So we can go ahead and jump into it by doing sudo docker exec-it for interactive shell, and then paste in the Docker ID, and then /bin/bash. And we get the root access to the container, and we can see that we are in /var www.html directory, and here it says to HTML uploads. So if we go to uploads, we have the flag.txt. So the problem is, and the challenge is, that we have to read the flag.txt. But the problem is that we cannot access it because right before starting the container, the flag has been revoked all the rights from it. So there's all of these minuses. So a command has been run, so chmod 00000 flag.txt to remove all the rights. So 000 to remove all the rights. And if we take a look at the source code, where is it? It's taking this target directory, taking the target file, which we are uploading, and it's taking the file name, and then using base name on it, and concatenating it with target directory. So because it's using base name, it eliminates stuff like local file inclusion or directory traversal, because it is using this base name, which basically just removes everything after the last slash, before the last slash. So if I would to type in, let me just show you here, or actually I can just jump in to a PHP interactive shell. So let me just do that. So php-a to go to interactive shell, and then I will just use a base name on a string that is going to be // as if we are trying directory traversal /pathwd. And if I run this, I have to save it to I can just echo it. It's going to remove everything before the last slash, before the last slash, right? And it's going to only keep that password. So the directory traversals are not working here. So let's move on. It checks, it does 3 of these checks. It checks if file exists, if file size is not over 50,000 bytes, and then if it doesn't start with .txt, it's also going to error out. So our file has to not start, it will end with .txt, so it has to end with .txt extension. If upload is not okay, it's going to error out, else it's going to say that the file has been uploaded, and it eliminating ourselves from doing XSS here because of HTML special characters. And then else, sorry, there was an error. If there was some sort of an error, and it does something else. It's setting the alt path to our current directory, then changing our directory to the target directory, and the target directory is defined here. So var HTML uploads. So we are changing into uploads directory. Let me just follow along. So we were here, right? So we are in the directory uploads now, and then we are executing this command chmod 000 star, and this star is what this video is about, and it's really interesting what we can do with this star. And it's just running chmod 000 star, and everything in this directory is going to have all of their rights revoked. Then it's changing the directory to alt path. So we are going back one to HTML because our alt path was get current working directory here. So let's now try to upload something to the website and see the request. And I'm just gonna upload this test txt file that I have here. Double click on it and it will upload to the website. Then we have this uploaded here. And then let's click on submit challenge, and the file upload the test.txt has been uploaded. All right, so now let's look at the requests, and I'm just gonna unset my scope here because it's not working for some reason. I'm using Kaido for this video, so let's go to the replay and check out the request. So it's a normal request to upload files. And we have this testing the file uploads that I have written in the file, and its file name is upload test.txt. So after uploading the file, because every time after uploading the file, it is running the command chmod 000 star here, the file is going to upload without any permissions. So if we go to the Docker container and then check out the uploads directory and check the rights of the upload test file, it has 0 rights to be executed, right? So if we go to the browser, we cannot access the file /uploads, right? Let's see. Yeah, that's /uploads and upload test.txt, and it's forbidden. We cannot access the file. So an interesting thing about stars in Linux, the first very interesting thing is that it does not affect hidden files. So star is only affecting files that are not hidden. If you don't know what is a hidden file in a Linux, it is basically a file that starts with a dot. So if I create a file, I will just make their test, right, and then cd to test, and then I will just touch a file called dot. This is a hidden file, right? And then if I do ls, we cannot see this file here because it is hidden. If you want to see the file, you can do ls-a to list all of the files. I like doing ls-la to also list their rights and everything like that, so we can see that this is a hidden file. And if I do chmod, and I will actually create one more file, so touch another file.txt, and then I have these files with read and write permissions. If I chmod 00 star, this star is going to affect only the files that are not hidden. So if I now do ls-la, another file.txt has all of its permissions revoked, while this is a hidden file, has all of the permissions. With that in mind, we can actually upload a hidden file. So let's say dot hidden file.txt, and now let's send the request. We get response OK, and the file hidden file.txt has been uploaded. If we go ahead and check the uploads directory, we can see that the hidden file has the rights to be seen. And if I just copy this file and go to the uploads directory and hidden file.txt, we can see testing the uploads is accessible by us users of the website. This is very common on Linux, that people are using the star instead of typing in the files while they are coding something or doing something with the command line. So the star symbol is very common, and if you think that some command is modifying files with a star, you can try uploading like the dot extension, and then with dot extension, with the dot in the front, the file is not going to be modified by the star. Alright, so after uploading the hidden file, we know how to get files that can actually execute for us, and we can see them in the directory. But what's in it for us? So my initial thought that we can somehow get code execution by tricking the file to upload a .php extension by using something like a null byte or something like that, and we can actually try doing that. So if I do %00.php to upload a file with a null byte, not .php, .txt here, because it checks if the file ends with .txt, and we can upload the .php file here. Click on send, and now let's try to see if it worked. So it says the file hidden file.php %00.txt has been uploaded. It means that this probably didn't work because null byte wasn't URL decoded on the application. We can go ahead and try it anyways. So I'll just copy the file, remove the %00. We cannot access this file, %00.txt here. And we still cannot access the file. Let's see, is it in our upload directory? So our browser is probably interpreting this %00 as a null byte, and it's not loading the file for us, so it doesn't work. So my second thought was that we can somehow maybe trick the file into thinking that it's maybe a HTML file or a PHP file, but it doesn't work because if we look at the content type, it's text plain. Let me actually intercept a request to open this hidden file.txt and go to HTTP history, upload test, not this one, this one. It's not modified. I can just go ahead and replay it by, let's send it, not modified. Oh, so yeah, it's I don't remember which headers to remove. I'll just remove like all of them because we don't really need them. Then send, and we can see the output here, and it's text plain. So it's not good. It's not going to work for us to execute PHP code. We can also try uploading without the .txt extension, and you might think, how do we do that? Well, we can upload just a file .txt, right? And this .txt will not have any extension. It's just hidden file called .txt. If we go ahead and look at the source code, it's perfectly fine, because the source code checks if the file ends with where is it? If the file ends with .txt. So our file actually ends with .txt, but it is not a text file. So if I click on send, and let's go back to the second tab here and just access the .txt file here, we can actually see that the content type is nothing here. So for the demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna remove the hidden file .txt here. So remove .txt, and it is not longer here. We would not be able to do that in a real server, but we can do that here. But why we couldn't do that in the real server is because it checks if the file exists, and if we would have uploaded the same file, it wouldn't have worked. So the file now doesn't exist. I'm gonna upload it again, and I will just try to do some HTML, body, script, if I can type, alert 1 /script, then slash body, or we can actually try doing some PHP, echo 7x7. Maybe PHP will work. Maybe you can get a code execution here, slash body, and then slash HTML. So let's try submitting this file, and then accessing it again on the second request. And we can actually see that the content type is being set to HTML, and we can get some JavaScript execution here, but it doesn't really affect us in any way. At least I couldn't think of a method to exploit this, because PHP is not being run. We can see that this is white here. Only the JavaScript is being run, so maybe there is a way to exploit it. If you can think of something, write me in the comments and explain to me. I would love to hear some unique exploitations to this challenge, but that's not actually going to be the case for this challenge. So now the second part of why the star character is very fascinating in Linux, and how we can solve this challenge using the star character. Now, if we take a look at the test example that I have here into the test folder, we can see that if we type in chmod star, chmod 000 star, right? It's going to remove all the writes from all the files. So let's maybe think of a way, how could we manipulate or maybe inject something into the chmod command? So what if we create a file name that has some command execution in it? So for example, if a file name would be this colon, and then for example sleep 20 to sleep for 20 seconds. If I do ls and then do this, it's going to ls the contents of the directory and then sleep for 20 seconds. So if we were to, for example, chmod 000 and star would become this file name, so maybe this would execute like that, and we could get code execution like this. So it will not work because the file is not being, I'm actually not sure why it doesn't work, but if we take a look at how the file is being created on Linux, so if we create file touch and then create this file sleep 20 like that, it's going to be created with these quotes, right? And we cannot remove these quotes. We can make these quotes double quotes, but we cannot make a file without the quotes. It's not possible. I don't think it is. So if we do, let's actually try doing that. chmod 000 star, like that. It's not going to work here. And the reason is it's because it's running with these quotes. So let's try to run this. Yep, it doesn't work because the quotes are in the way and it is not being interpreted as a command. It's just like a string. So this doesn't work. So what if we can, another idea that I had is maybe we can inject like an argument to chmod. If we go to man chmod, we can see the manual page for chmod, and there are a couple of flags. So let's, for example, try to display version here. So dash version to output version information and exit. So if we do chmod 000 star and then dash version, it's going to exit without changing the permissions of files. So if I touch test and then I will run the version command again, we can see that test still has its the permissions, because chmod did not execute this 000 star. It only executed dash version. So with the dash version, we can actually escape the command. Great. So now let's try to make dash version a file, and maybe this will prevent us from executing the chmod command. So let's do that. If I go ahead and go back to the upload request, I will just change it to upload here, like that, and then file will be dash version. So when the star runs on Linux, it is going through every file one by one, executing its name. So dot, another example.txt, this thing, this is a hidden file. So if we were to create a file which is called version, touch and then with the quotes, and it's actually, as we can see, with the touch command, I am not able to run it because I am running dash version. So I cannot create a dash version file this easily. I think I can do that with 2 dashes here, and it created us this file here. So let's now try to run chmod 000 star, and it actually failed to run because there is a dash version file in the directory. So the star goes through every single file in the directory and then changes its mods. But if we have a file which is called dash version, this command becomes the same as chmod dash version, right? And it doesn't execute. So let's try to upload this to the did I upload it? No, I haven't. So let's try to upload it to the Docker server. So I will click send, and then it's not being able to upload because it doesn't end in .txt. So let's make it end in .txt. Just write .txt here. It doesn't matter, and click on send, because the dash version is still going to execute here. And now I will create another file to test if the file name or another file is going to have the permissions to read or not. So the file will be read test.txt, right? And the file has been uploaded. So let's go back to the Docker container and check if the file has the rights. And indeed, we can see that read test.txt has read and write permissions. So that is great, but how does it affect us? How can we make flag.txt file get the permissions on read-write files? So on this step, I spent a lot of time, and the answer is that we have to read manual pages of binary. So if I go to man chmod, we can see all of the manual. If you are doing something similar, I recommend you reading through all of the manual, going to second page of the manual, reading everything here, all of the C code, etc. But if we go to chmod, we can see that one thing sticks out, and it's this -- reference. Use our files mode instead of specifying mode values. Our file is always the reference if a symbolic link. So if we can use this reference, we can basically overwrite the mode values, which is 000, and make all of the files in the directory reference to the file that has other rights. So because we can upload hidden files with the rights, so we can do, I will just remove dash version here with the like that, and then we can see that these files, another file, and this file doesn't have any permissions here, but the hidden files do, and we can reference the hidden files to chmod to hopefully give all of the files in the directory read-write permissions. So chmod 000 star, and then I will do -- reference, right? Because we are gonna do that, and then dot, this is a hidden file, so I'm just gonna copy paste it, and we can see that it says cannot access 000, no such file or directory, because it doesn't execute the 000 star, it only executes the reference. And if I do ls-la, we can see that all of the files have read and write permissions. But what if we execute with the with these single apostrophes, I believe they're called, and what if I click enter? It still works, it still does the same thing. So with that in mind, we can go back to Kaido and upload a file. I will actually go ahead and go back to my Docker container here, and then remove the -- version file because it's going to interfere with our command here. So remove -- version like that, remove -- like that to remove the file with special name, and then I will upload a file called -- reference equals to .txt, because .txt file in here has read-write permissions. Let's try to upload this file now. Alright, so the file has been uploaded. If I do ls-la, we can see that flag.txt magically gets read-write permissions, and if I go to my browser and I test with flag.txt, it says that the flag is subscribed to 0DG. So that's it for this video. I wanted to talk about the star parameter, star symbol in Linux. How is it special and how can it be abused? And this challenge was pretty fun for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.